What's up, YouTubers? Welcome back, guys. In case you didn't know, I'm Ren.
And I'm Vex.
And we're here to
chat with you guys.
Sync with you guys.
And speak life with you guys.
And a Christian perspective of life.
As much as possible.
Pretty much.
So, subscribe!
Alright, guys. So, we know that Thanksgiving just passed. And I hope you guys all had an amazing Thanksgiving. We definitely did. But I think God really teaches us different things. This year, I feel like I really found myself. Like, I don't know, I was going through, we all go through those moments where we just have to find ourselves, and I really feel like God helped me really learn how to love myself truly this year, and I'm thankful for that, so.
Yeah, I'm thankful for so many different things. This year definitely felt like a bunch of different years all in one. Mm-hmm. Like, when somebody tells me something happened in my past, I'm like, that happened this year? Really?
I know, it's
like
been a long
crazy.
Year.
But what I'm thankful for most of all is definitely the strengthening of my faith. Because I think that everybody gets to a point in their faith where they feel like not so much as it's like not there, but you feel like it's stagnant. Like, is this like repetitious? Like, I'm doing the exact same thing? Is this really like a walk, like a way I'm living? And so I'm thankful that by Thanksgiving in this year, I feel like I've definitely reached a place in my faith where I feel like, you know, it feels like a walk. It doesn't just feel like I'm doing this just because, oh, it's Sunday, oh, it's this time and this. It's more like I'm setting in stone, like this is what I want to do with my life. And so I'm so thankful to be able to have the Lord in my life and to be able to freely worship Him. And because there's so many people who don't know about the Lord and who He is and how amazing He is.
Oh, that's great. I like that. But anyways, guys, let's get right into our video. Today, we're going to be talking with you guys how to tell when God is speaking to you. And, as I've been growing in my walk, it's been so amazing, like how God is really direct when He's trying to speak to you about a situation. Like, it's just obvious that He's trying to make it a point to you. He wants you to do this, or He doesn't want you to do this, you know? And so basically we're here to tell you guys just a few personal signs that we have had as a Christian that God's trying to. When you are in a situation that we all get in those situations where we're like, I don't know if I should quit my job. I don't know if I should, you know, if I'm going to be able to finish school. We start worrying about things that are really not in our control, but we try as hard as we can to control them. And so basically in that moment, you pray about it. So what I do, I pray about it, and I just, at that point, release it to God. I'm like, I know that He has bigger plans for me than I have, and that, one, He says in His Word, all things work together for good. So no matter what, I know everything's going to work out. Even if I'm worrying about my class or something else, it's going to work out. So when you pray, and you immediately feel like peace, about what you prayed about, and you're like, okay, Lord, if this is your will that I date this person, or I finish school, or I, you know, quit my job, give me peace in my heart that I should do it. And then you get that peace.
I know you're probably thinking, if you haven't experienced it before, you're thinking, what does it feel like? You will know. Let me just tell you that. Like, it will be like, your life will feel so chaotic and crazy. Thinking about the situation, you will literally sit down and pray, be like, Lord, I submit this to you, I trust you. And then it's like, you don't even worry about it anymore. You're like, this is weird. I should be worrying. Why am I not worrying?
Yeah.
Why am I not worrying?
Like, every time I have that feeling, I'm like, oh my goodness, thank you, Lord Jesus. I already know that you've given me the answer in my heart, that it's okay. And so that's, you know, just a very obvious sign to know that God's speaking to you about a situation and having peace about it.
A big way for me, I feel like, when to know that God is speaking to you is that He'll do everything in His power to show you something. Like, you may feel like in your life, God, I just went through this. Why am I doing this again? Like, literally, I thought we made it through this, and you'll feel like you're doing the exact same thing over and over again, because maybe God is trying to teach you a lesson in that, and I am so stubborn that God will literally have to take me to the same thing like 3 times, and I'm like, okay, let me slow down and let me realize, okay, maybe God is telling me what He was telling me, that I need to just stop trying to be so controlling and like making everything perfect, and that I need to just trust Him more and trust Him that He holds the whole world in His hands. And I think the biggest thing that changed my life, like in general, like period, was when I realized, like, God was like, Rebecca, you know that I control everything, right? Like, you know that you're not in control, right? At all. Like, this is mine. Like, literally just submit it to me and it's all gonna work out. And that relieves so much stress in my life, because I was stressing like all the time, and I was like, man, God, I'm like, how do I know you're talking to me? And he's like, I'm right here. I'm telling you all day long. Like I'm right here.
Yeah, so another point I wanted to add about when God is speaking to you, you have to have, like, I personally experience, you have to have that uncomfortable faith. What I mean by that is, so God expects us to have faith, like believing what you don't see. So believing that God's going to work it out even though you don't see it.
Yeah.
But I've also realized that God doesn't just want me to believe in what I don't see. He wants me to be willing to step out of my comfort zone to do something that He wants me to do. And sometimes it just requires for you to step out of your comfort zone and do what God's asking you to do. Like, you might not be ready to quit that job, but if God's asking for you to do that, then you have to be willing to do it. Or you have to be willing to take a chance on going back to school and getting your degree, or doing whatever God's asking you to do. And sometimes it just requires taking your pride down, humbling yourself, and just stepping out of your comfort zone.
Yeah. Another thing that I realized was that somebody said, well, like a sermon I was listening to, they said to know that God's speaking to you, they said that usually God is not going to come in like an I, like a me, I want, I, me, anything like that sounds like it's only going to benefit you in a way, because God is looking to bring glory to Himself and to like impact everybody. So He's not going to like, I'm not saying that God's not going to bless you with a car or like something like an expensive house or whatever. I'm just saying that 9 times out of 10, it's going to be something that He's going to use in you to impact other people, like a gift He's going to give to you that He knows you're going to be fruitful with it.
Yeah, that's really
and also,
great.
And another way I think that God can speak to you is also, which is really hard if you're like a person like me who is constantly talking. And so it was really funny when I listened to somebody and you're like, how much time do you spend in your prayer life talking the whole time? Are you going to let God start talking? And I was like, ooh, God, we need to talk. I literally take up 90% of my prayer time, and I'm like going on and on and on and on and on about all the stuff that's going wrong. And I'm like, at what point are you going to stop and like close your eyes and be like, okay, Lord, what do you want to tell me?
Yeah, exactly. And another thing that goes along with listening instead of talking, sometimes God, puts people in your life, like if you have your family or your close friends that connect with you on the same level, like they're listening to God, they're praying in their prayer life, and if you ask them for advice and they tell you, no, don't do this, or do this, and everyone that you're talking to that's connected to God in that kind of way is telling you to do the same thing, just know that is God talking to you, and that is just an obvious sign that sometimes we can be stubborn and we're like, we're still going to go against them and do our own thing, but eventually you're going to realize these people love me, and if they are listening to God and they care about me, then maybe they want what's best for me, and I just need to trust that like I'm trusting God. And so just trust that, because that's a really good sign that God's talking to you. Like, you really have no choice. You have no choice but to just do what God's telling you to do.
It's kind of like you'll be in a situation where, like, you're losing your job. Like, you got fired, for example, and you have no job, and listen, you got all these bills to pay, and God is like, now do you trust me? Like, you're going to have to trust me. Like, that's God speaking to you. He's like, listen, I'm going to take everything away from you, and I'm going to see if you're going to still trust me.
I'll give an example, too. Right now, I was expecting to graduate this month and go into my massage therapy program in January. But when I went to inquire about the program, it doesn't even start until August. And here I am sitting like, oh my goodness, so I'm going to have like 8 months free, not doing anything, not going to school, not continuing my plan. And that really like made me uneasy, because I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't want to not keep on progressing.
Yeah.
But a situation happened where I realized I still might need to take another class. And during that time, that was perfect, because what God's telling me is, I arranged this because I realized that you might need to take another class, and you didn't realize it at the time, so I'm giving you this time so you will be prepared when the program starts. And that is trusting that God is working it all out, even when I didn't see it, even when I didn't know it. It's like I have no choice, you know? My program doesn't start until August, so I have no choice but to wait. But while I'm waiting, God worked it out, and He's like, you know, I did that on purpose because you still need another class. So God wants what's best for us. And sometimes we think, I don't know why this is happening. You know, it doesn't make sense to us, but He understands it, and He's just trying to speak to you because He's working your life out.
Yeah. Ultimately, I feel like in every area, God really just wants you to trust Him. He wants you to put Him first. And so I would say that in every area of your life, if you feel like you're like, God, like I was in a place in my life where I wanted God to speak to me personally. I was like, I mean, all these people saying He's speaking to them, and I'm like, God, come on, I got a relationship with you. I know that I do, and I accept you. I want to hear you loud and clear like everybody else, you know, like in the Bible. And I didn't realize that people are like, He is talking to you. We're praying for God, and like, where are you? And God's like, I never will leave you nor forsake you. So I'm right here. You're just not listening. Everything else is so loud that you can't even hear me, and I'm speaking right to you. I'm that still, quiet voice that's speaking to you. And I think that if I give anybody any advice out there is I would just say, trust God. That you have to trust Him. It's not going to be easy. It never really is. Like, doing the right thing, I always say, it's never going to be easy, but you'll know it's the right thing to do. So, yeah.
So basically it just comes down to when you trust Him and He gives you that peace in your heart, that you know everything's going to work out, even when it seems scary or like you don't really know what's going on. That's God speaking to you.
Absolutely.
God can speak through you, through people. God can speak through you, through situations, through things seeming like, why aren't they taking so long to work out? He's working something out in that meantime while you're waiting.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like also one way God's spoken to me a lot, which maybe everybody can apply to this, is that I'll be praying and I'll be like, God, I don't know what to do about this, or I don't know what to feel about this, or this person, or blah, 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 and I will go on social media, you know, after I'm done praying, and I'm like, okay, Lord, I'm just waiting for you to tell me what you're going to say, and I will see a quote, like, from Godly Dating. Most of them are from there, I feel like that. But not just that. Or I'll go on Pinterest, which I mostly follow, like, quotes and, like, Bible quotes and all this stuff on there. And I'll see a quote and I'll be like, the Lord will literally speak to me and be like, this is what He's telling me to do. Like, and it will give me clarity. Like, I'll be like, I get it. Okay, I know what to do.
So basically just be open.
To finding, to hearing
to just
God.
hear God wherever you are. Like, when you're really wondering about a situation, that's your connection with God. You are like, okay, Lord, I'm going to stay, you know, open, have my eyes open and my ears open to hear whatever you want me to hear to tell me about the situation. Just be open for the situation.
Absolutely.
And I'll give you another kind of example to know. Like, if you're not listening to God, this will happen. You'll start feeling sad. You'll start feeling like bad and depressed and like down in life, and you won't even know why you're feeling down. Like, okay, you understand your situation is a little bit more than you can handle.
Yeah.
But it'll feel like too much to handle because it's not for you to handle.
At all. Like, literally, don't try to handle it on your own. It's not worth it.
And when God doesn't want you to be doing what you're doing, you won't feel peace until you start doing what He wants you to do.
Absolutely. So just skip all of that, you know, all that torture you got to go through. Take our advice and please trust. Because I'm telling you that if I could tell any new Christians or anybody out there who's going through a trial right now, to spare them from all the stuff I had to go through, I would tell them just to trust. Please, it makes your life so much easier. You don't have to worry. You don't have to be depressed or feel alone or worthless. I mean, you submit to God. It makes everything fall into place. Like, trusting Him and, like, listening to Him in every area. I'm not talking about you just go to God when you want something. Or you're trying to hear Him just because. I'm talking about go to God about everything. Your grades, your school, your friends, your family, eating, everything. God wants you to Him, like, number one and your center. Like, praise Him for that. Look for Him to speak to you in that, too. Like, hey, God probably wants me to be grateful for this. He wants me to share this with other people. Like, I had to realize that, yeah, like, when God blesses you with something, or He reveals something to you that He wants to do into your life, He wants you to, He spoke to me and He was like, I need you to tell people before it happens. I told you I'm going to do this for you, so I need you to go to this, and everybody, and I need you to spread the word so that I can be glorified when I fulfill my promise to you.
Alright, guys. Well, we've had great time sharing this with you guys.
Absolutely.
And we hope that we've given you a little bit of insight how to know how God's speaking to you now.
Yeah.
So have a blessed week, guys, and we'll catch you next time. Bye!